So I just took a broomstick and put a little electrical tape on the MLA 30 loop antenna, and just put it there. This way I can just kind of set it on things and tie wrap it to something. I put it up on a tripod, so that way I can run it outside. I was going to actually put it up on the TV antenna tower, so it's outside and higher up. And so yeah, that's a nice little fix for this. This antenna actually worked pretty good. It worked inside, but I want to get better results, so I'm going to try to get it out. I'm going to put this thing outside just to pull in the bands a little bit better. The ML30 on a broomstick. I just sort of sawed the top there, and I put it on. Just screwed it to this little broken broomstick. Seems like a lot of people use that. And I just have it going onto this tripod. So I'll have to experiment first to see if I can get, because I'll need more cable to run it up to my TV antenna. So I'll have to see if the extra cable will cause too much signal loss before I do that. So I'll show you my setup. I'm just going to turn down my computer speaker. Alright, so I have the antenna coming into the house right now. So here's my setup. I got the RTL hooked up to the amplifier. So this is the antenna wire coming in from the house. And so the two receiver is going to this RTL-SDR HF Upconverter. So what happens is it says HF here and then IF here. So I have an adapter coming out of it, going into the SDR radio. So it's kind of like a little bit of a mess of radios. I've tried buying a all-in-one unit, but I haven't had success with them as of yet. This one has worked with this RTL unit, has worked the best. So I have this going into the computer, which is feeding the radio sound. So the only thing that really requires a driver from your computer is this, the RTL USB stick software-defined radio. This doesn't really take any driver. It's just powered by a USB plug, and you can pretty much use like a phone charger or whatever for that. Same with the MLA 30 antenna. You just need to it has a USB plug here, but it's just to power the unit so that it will amplify it. So really these three things is what you have to have set up, and you have to have it plugged in. Now if you unplug this, you'll probably lose all your signal. It's one of those amplifier antennas where if you don't have it plugged in, it won't work for you. Same thing with the Upconverter. It will have to be plugged in order for it to work, or else it just won't operate for you. So this is how I'm able to get shortwave radio, is with this setup here. So you need these three devices going: the amplifier to the antenna, the RTL-SDR HF Upconverter, which converts the signal so that it can be read by this thing in HF. And you just need to switch your frequency to minus. So I have my LNB low set to minus 125. Also, I'm getting the wrong frequency for this. Now, I've been trying to mess around with my LNB low frequency, and still trying to figure out how to get the exact frequency, because there's a lot of frequency drift. I'm getting AM radio stations above some of the shortwave radio stations, so it's kind of a bit of a mess to find the stations and get them all clear. But I'm able to get everything pretty good. Like when I get a red line like this, I can hear WWCR really good. And so yeah, that's my settings for this. And then I can switch my LNA gain around. Like I can get it right there. I have it about there just so I can see the waterfall where the stations are. So with this being just AM shortwave, I just have it on regular AM. And these are pretty much default settings. Also, I like to keep this at 0 or at least 1 off, but I think with the AM setting, it's probably even better just having it there. So if I could zoom out my waterfall here a bit of everything on this. So it's getting later at night, so a lot of the shortwave radio stations are coming in right now.
as of the recording of this video. Just that one actually is coming in the strongest. So this is actually with the antenna inside. The antenna inside and not even outside yet, but I moved it around and then I turned the angle. I had it in my window and then I moved it and I found it was working a lot better where I put it. So eventually I'm going to put this thing outside and try to get better reception with the antenna actually being outside. So yeah, this is the shortwave spectrum. This kind of looks very about there, maybe even just to see any neighboring radio stations. But hey, it got working anyway. It got working in Linux Mint, which is great. None of these seem to do much. There is a frequency correction. I played around a little bit with that, but still I'm quite new to this stuff, so it's still a work in progress. Alright, so I can see some HF is what they refer to in ham frequencies, which is basically it's shortwave radio on the ham radio frequencies. Now, a lot of the time they operate on the lower sideband frequencies. So what that means is instead of you having your setting to AM, you'll have it set to lower sideband. Most of the time, from what I understand, people do use lower sideband, but sometimes they use upper sideband. Now, sometimes it's referred to SSB, single sideband. So basically what that means is it's using half of the band, where like, for example, AM's using these two sides of the band, where lower sideband just uses half of a band to receive radio. Now, I got my LMB low set to -125. I'm trying to find the right setting for that makes it basically all through here. I'll figure this out eventually. So I'm getting these. It's gonna sound like a lot of noise here. Somebody's talking there, and you gotta just kind of tweak it in. I like to just basically have it all. I like to have it set on that line there, so I can just use the frequency counter and then just have it right on. But the really great thing about this SDR is you have the waterfall here, so you can see what's going on the band and move it around. And you can switch around the LNA gain. And this is pretty neat because I'm able to pull in radio stations with my loop antenna, and it's indoors right now. I'm gonna put it outside, and we'll see how the results of this thing works with it being outside. There's a little bit of Morse code going on there. So this is great. Like this is a great thing to have. Like if in the event of major event, you know, say or even just if your internet was down, or just something were to happen, we can have this. So your computer could be useful for something. You can connect it to an antenna. And then sometimes what you have to do is just move this around. Like they'll sound kind of like R2D2 or something like that. You just need to move it around. You can tune it to the frequency. That's why I like to do it by frequency, because I can move right in and get it sharp. Some people talking here. So that's basically how you can look at HF, or the shortwave amateur radio frequencies. If you want to listen to that, I find it quite interesting. Some of these people can have some interesting conversations you can listen into. They talk about a lot of the stuff, like technology stuff, that's really fun to that I talk about on my channel. So I kind of enjoy listening to this stuff. One day I probably will get my license. It's just it's something with all the things going on in my life right now. I just haven't had time to get around to doing that. But playing with this SDR stuff definitely makes me want to get more into this hobby and learn more. And for those, someone might ask about these antennas that do come with the RTL software-defined radios. I found that this antenna, for the shortwave stuff, wasn't able. I could hear voices in the
in the waterfall, but really I couldn't hear very well with this antenna. The outdoor antenna, which I have set up now with the loop, it's working a lot better outside, even in the daytime. So that's exciting to know that that's working right now.
All right. So I'm just going to show you what comes with the antenna that I'm using. So it comes with this thing here. Oops, I'll try to show that in camera. Here. It's called a Mega Loop 30 for frequencies below 30 megahertz. Active loop antenna, frequency 0, 1, to 30 megahertz. Remote supply, voltage 14V, max 40 MA. Okay? So it comes with a little connector for your software-defined radio. It also comes with this and this. So this just USB power supply, and then there's this. Comes with a few screws for mounting this against the wall or something. So you mount this, screw this, or I'm gonna try to mount that to my aerial. It comes with this adapter from the preamplifier. So this thing here says to receiver. And I'll have to try it out to see how it works without this thing at all. Like just a straight plug-in without the antenna power on. It's kind of an interesting idea. Put these screws back in here. So that connects like that. You plug the USB adapter in. And also, let me show you this. So this is the antenna. Did I cut myself? I'm bleeding. Cut myself on this thing. Anyway. How do I get this thing off? Do I just need to hold it this way? No. Right, okay, so what you end up with, it's hard to see on this camera, is this big loop antenna. And then that will go around this.
It would look like if adults acted like toddlers.